very first film. It's my thesis film for my MFA. Quick story, a really good friend of mine, he is a white man, and we were in lockdown, he asked me, but what do you want to say? Because I told him I wanted to make a film about black hair, and then it struck me after I came out here, and he said, what's wrong? I said, no, I'm talking afro. He was like, wow. And I said, I'm going to name it a minor film. He said, how did you come up with it that fast? I was like, because that's what everyone says about hair. And the film was just based on, unfortunately, personal experiences I've had with microaggressions at work, and it's a little bit blown out, but if you check out the trailer, I do have merch if you want to see a little bit more of it, but the animated part is about the mental effects that microaggressions have on people. Thank you.
I'm Julian Lowenthal, the director, producer, and co-writer of Money Game. And I would say I've worked with Daniel Washington for many years, and one night I literally told him at the wrap party of a film, I'm like, hey Daniel, you're going to star in my film. Daniel, you're doing it. You had a little bit too much to drink. I'm like, I know, I'm still going to star you in a film. 4 years later, it happened. Origin story, real quick, right? So 3 years ago, I met Chris. I'm a very nosy human being, and I'm at a restaurant. Chris is talking to some other individual, literally about almost classroom scene, one of our films. I'm like, Chris, that's wild. So I butt into this conversation, like, say it again. I'm like, oh my God, we got to turn this into a film. And 3 years later, here it is.
So I'm Chris Galizio, I'm the executive producer of Money Game. What we wanted to do is we wanted to show two different economies here. You saw Daniel playing the real economy, and you saw Terrence McFadden Jr. playing the financial economy. The big point of the movie is that when you manipulate interest rates, which you're watching the Fed do, all the money flows to the rich at the expense of the poor through inflation. So with the classroom scene 2, we're talking about the Weimar Republic, right? And we're all watching every day how inflation is going up and up and up. The biggest scene and the biggest line in the entire movie is when Naheem says correct, and when the Fed intervened in bond markets, they broke the ecosystem of capitalism, right? But think of all the craziness you're watching out there. You're seeing Dogecoin, you're seeing GameStop trading 20 billion. Nothing makes sense. It comes back to that opening quote in the movie. The task is not to see what no one else sees, but to think what no one else has thought about that which everybody sees. Because you're all watching a society that doesn't make sense, right? And so that's why we made the movie. And the closing quote, if you wait until the very, very end, sorry, the closing quote was, if
You're taking Daniel's time.
Now
he has negative time.
The closing quote, if passive ever gets bigger than active, there'll be chaos and catastrophe. That's what you're watching in today's markets. That's why Elon Musk, as a company that loses money, trades at $1 trillion. That's why Zuckerberg. And so when you see Terrence McFadden, think all those rich guys whose companies don't make money.
The real life Professor Gardner. My name is Daniel Washington. I am star, producer, and co-writer of Money Game. Appreciate that. Thank you. Quick thing about how I got into it. Paul Speziali is not here right now, but him and Julian, they reached out to me a couple of years ago now about this awesome film. We went through a script, went through a whole lot of conversation, a whole lot of negotiation. I ended up signing on. Next thing you know, I was suffering from COVID, helping to write it, and then became a producer on it as well. And I mean, I guess as far as an intro, that's pretty cool.
One thing that happened during the filmmaking that just shocked you, it could be happy shock or sad shock or, oh my goodness, there were no bathrooms there. One little adventure shock. Okay. The boss, James Loss, to get energy, he wouldn't peel the bananas, he would just eat them whole. So that was a shock. And then Time, who's the voice of the Afro, he's a professional tap dancer. And so he was tap dancing on set because he was trying to get a grant. So those are pretty cool things.
So I just
you
want,
representing all of
yeah, for Money Game.
Okay.
For Money Game, I just want to say no cocaine was actually spilled. However, Terrence McFadden Jr. would drink 3 energy drinks per time that he was on just to represent somebody actually on cocaine. Authenticity.
What is your writing process? Because like these are the type of movies I would love to see on the big screen. It's like a double question. And then do you have anything else you're working on in the future?
Thank you so much for your question. As soon as I was hitting the pedal, as soon as I was done doing that, I started writing. So I really people watch. I was taught that in film school, and also I just want to try and come up with original ideas. I want to see Black people in original settings, and this was the craziest thing I could think of. So my next project is about the Black experience in the suburbs. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, and I really feel like it works like a cult. So I was going to really play on that. And I might have, again, Billy who plays James. I think he would be a really good cult leader. I can work with him.
I'll try to be loud. Sometimes I can do outside voice. First of all, thank you for sweet, wonderful movie. Totally relevant to me being a widow. But can we see this again? I mean, this is like very therapeutic for people because there's so many different aspects. And for you, young lady, I need you to make this school appropriate because a lot of people struggle, and I think it's important for high school students and middle school students because we're very hard on each other with here. I call it black on black crime, and it prepares them to go into the workforce, but also inspires them to use that anger in a very therapeutic way, like you, and make puppets and have fun, you know. So
I have to say I teach high school full time, and I have been given permission to show it to my students, so I am utilizing it that way.
Awesome.
But to make it even more family friendly, I was also, I really appreciated that you all made a film during the pandemic. You'll see at the end of my film, I dedicated it to the person who used to take me to get my hair done, and unfortunately she passed from COVID right at the beginning. And so that's where a lot of the anger comes from, just like through grieving. But I am working on a children's book that's based around my
Thank you, brother. That was a very beautiful set. I appreciate that. I'm sorry for the loss. If I could, just because it was touched on, you heard the way Chris amazingly put the financial aspect of that film. And if you realize there are 2 parts of the film, one of them is that financial thing. The other one is very, very, very human. And this is a part that Julian and myself had a whole lot of time writing on, that I had a whole lot of time fighting on. You saw the insane scene by the river where James has his breakdown, which was a scene I was terrified to film. I almost didn't do it. And the word that was said to me by the woman who played the wife in the film was that that's the reason why you have to do it. And that's the reason why it has to be done. This was a film that was about mental health. It was also about men's mental health, which can be very hard. You may notice how this character just kept moving. He just kept moving until he couldn't move. And I think a very, very, very big message in this film is about allowing yourself to be human. It can happen any kind of ways. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to come out as a blow up. Maybe you can learn to talk. Maybe you learn to do other things. Myself, I have different outlets. This is one of them. I also dance. I know a couple people in here go do that too. You know, but it's very, very important to authentically go through your experiences. That can mean a million things, but please give yourself grace. This movie had a lot to do with that. Life's not easy for anybody. For anybody. So please just know that it's real, know that it's valid, and I would hope that that goes with you from this film. Thank you guys.
I tried to change it. I followed the producer and the writer. She went behind my back, told the school, got the film canceled. She jumped ship, went to another project. So we're 3 weeks out from the film. The dean came to me and said, "Hey, I still want you to shoot something." I grabbed whoever was available. My team, my VP, my editor was still on board. And we got a little petty. We kind of made a parody of made us stay within the guidelines of the original script, so we kind of made a parody, but the producer, the original producer, writer. And we had 3 weeks to shoot, not enough time to really get things where we wanted to, get them, but we had fun shooting it. Good time. And I graduated.
And I'm Brendan Egan. I played Blake in Ugly Sweater. How I got involved, I auditioned. I did like 5 auditions. And yeah, it was a great project to work on. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. How about you? How did you get involved?
Right. I'm Andrea Lyman, Ugly Sweater also, and I auditioned, so they did it under a micro-budget agreement, which is a SAG-AFTRA contract, and under that contract, they usually send out, that means the filmmakers can send it out through the SAG blast, which goes out to all of the members, and so then you get a wide, all 4,000 chance to audition. So I auditioned and got the part, and I was happy to be doing it. It was so wonderful. So a female-run production company, Purple Magnet Productions, and now some of them are in so it's I gotta say, it's a little bit different. I've worked in a lot of films, and a female set is different from a male set. That's all I would say. There really is a difference. At least all the female sets that I've worked on, when they're predominantly female, there's a whole lot of camaraderie. There's a whole lot of sharing of ideas, and do you think we should do this? Well, do that. And whereas I see some, not always, but sometimes on the male sets, there was like a competition thing, and there's like a I am the boss thing, and so many things where it's like, it's not that important. Why can't you open up? You gotta do this. And so, I've just noticed that's a difference. I'm now sort of like, but I'm just thinking of this. Any, is there any, what's something that happened like totally unexpected, or either fantastic, or that was just something again? Short between one?
Right, yeah, no, the 2 co-stars, the girls, Janae and Andre, hated each other. Absolutely hated each other. When they had the first fight scene, the actor came out of that, Janae's face. So it was kind of, she's my lead, so I had to blow it over and make sure she was good. It was a yeah, they did not.
Man, what can I say? Okay, well, there's one scene in the movie, this is the first time I'm actually saying. There is one scene in the movie, and this script was written where Blake hits the ball, and that was cut last minute.
Well, thank you so much for